Hello and welcome. It's that of the 15th day of October 2018. It's 8 a.m. as I'm doing this video. And it's the second one, as I did one to start the morning off. First time I've ever done that on a crypto day, 2.5-minute morning, or warning, 4-minute morning, all those first videos of the day. I always give myself usually at least an hour, if not 2 or 3, before doing the video. But I thought, you know what, let's just do one as I'm got the reaction going, and I like the video. But what's going on amongst this whole Tether deal? We look at the price of Bitcoin. It's 6,400 and low change amongst Coinbase and Bitstamp. So it's higher here by 580 basis points. That's about 10%. And if you were to be holding this, as what would I do now if I had it? I don't, because I sold it many weeks ago. As JSNP4 would come on and say, oh, these psychics are saying that that's like they're bluffing, it's not real. And I mean, I never had much confidence in them before, and that's what's hurt a lot of my possible profits I could have had, was not having confidence in the Tether game since I begun, and just keep trading it along the way, because that would have been profitable. Because up until now, it has been what it was supposed to be. And that's the key word, until now. When looking this at the daily term time frame, before this event, the differential was 2% for a few days, as this down day was the situation where it went from like a 0.7% differential to a 2% differential. Now it's at 10. Like back in here, the price was pretty much in line with Bitcoin on the normal exchanges like a Coinbase and the Bitstamps and all of the other legit Bitcoin exchanges. Assuming, of course, that the other ones, or some or many of them, are legit. But we are seeing 6,989 on here. So if you have Tether, you'd have no choice, I think, but to, I mean, you can day trade it now possibly in interesting ways, but you'd have to sell, I would think. But that means there has to be buyers on the other side, and there is, because the markets are always going to move, and it also means that there are people who have, say, on the exchanges here, maybe you got a sell order to sell some Bitcoin at 7130, like, ooh, or obviously it would have sold already. But anyone who has, a lot of people have sell orders in here, would have been like, I'm going to remove my sell orders, because that means I'd be getting Tether, and I don't want Tether anymore. So the Bitcoin, and in other currencies, what they have, the EOSs and the Litecoins, the Cardanos, and so on and so forth, a lot of the sell orders are going to be removed. And that's obviously caused these prices to go higher. I am interested to see how this will play out. Is it possible that this becomes 20%, 50%, 2x, 3x, 5x? And how does the end game play out? Because the amount of tethers that are out there, and the number's big, but somebody always has to own them, because every single time people have been getting out of Tether, other people are buying those tethers. So there's going to have to be those who hold them, and the ones buying now are the ones, you can say, taking the gamble that, okay, there's a 10% differential right now amongst this, the Tether and the regular one. So with looking at this, say from here, there's, in this case it's 8%, but I think this might be the best way of looking at it. It's got 12% on this area here, so even more. But you're betting that if you buy the Tether here, that this can come back, and then you can get like a 10%, 5%, whatever percent gain by getting Tether on the cheap. But a lot of people, if this does go to reckoning, the Tether that is, are going to get very hurt and lose a lot by buying the Tether now. So it already stings or hurts to have to pay a 10%, 11%, whatever, in this case 12% fee to get out of such a coin and into other ones. Here's a quick view of Poloniex, and they have this USDC exchange, and they were telling you, get USDC, so hey, don't say that they didn't warn you. But here's a spot where the price of Bitcoin here is 6,300. USDT, 0.889. Volume here only 4.7 million, but it's 2 million against Ethereum, and it's only 100 and... no, that's 1.5 million rather. So overall volume is 8 million, a little more right now on this exchange. But you can see the price action move. But also note, this is a good hair under 6,000, this line here. That means somebody, and you see on the 1 minute time frame, it was a single trade, sold big here. Like a whole bunch of Bitcoin down. Which meant if you had buy orders in here, you got a free trade because you could come back and sell it. And because of such, this price is marginally lower than what the real price is. The bid is 63, and the ask price, it doesn't get any, there's no serious ask prices until like 63.60. But anyway, back to the other chart. And we'll move this on to a 15-minute time frame. So this becomes day tradable now, as we can see. It's got interesting volatile movements. And whether you'd want to do it, that means you have to have Tether in some form to do it. I'm not going to do so. I'm glad that I don't have to deal with it. I suppose you're one move late in getting out of Tether, because this happened a few days ago. As I think the day to get out of Tether would have been... well, it would have been a few days ago. That was when Bitcoin went down and broke a level of support. The day Bitcoin went to 6,100, I think, was the real day. If like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? And it was only a 2% penalty getting out of it. Now it's over 10%. And I guess you could... it's a gamble to buy it now, but I just would say it's safe to get out. Anyway, I'm not going to talk any more about that. This has got a decent bullish pattern as it stands right now. So if this thing breaks out above here, I mean, you're going over 20%. And where are we going to be on Friday? This is how we start the week off on Monday. This happened at like 5, 6 o'clock European time in the morning. 7 o'clock, actually, because I was doing the time differential from midnight. It should be from 1 o'clock. As we can see here, this all started at 1. So I had 5-6 hours to European time, 6-7. I mean, that depends on what part of Europe you're because Eastern Europe and Western Europe, different time zones. But anyway, the setup here is positive to go higher even more. And the only way to get out of Tether is to sell it for other coins, and that's going to make this go up. And of course, amongst the exchanges, you got this people. If you got like things that people are buying Cardano and all the other ones just because it's not Tether, and they can buy it with their Tether. But the price here is 775. If I get this calculated by, well, that shouldn't be the case, but maybe they're calculating it within the Tether price. 71. So the real price is 71.7, yet it's going for 77.7. That's a differential of like 60 basis points. That's and change. That's pretty much 10%. So it's a 10% fee to get out of it right now. Of course, it's your own risk reward and what you do with it. I figured, what the heck? I never had confidence in it anyway. So if some psychic with good reputation in the past, quote unquote, says that they don't like it, I thought, you know what the heck? Why not get out of it? And I did. Anyway, I'm going to complete this now, and we'll talk about this throughout the week because I'm curious to see how this is going to play out through this week and even into the upcoming weeks as well. As for several years, the Tether has been in place, and now it's got interesting situation of people getting out of it and buying it on what people think is the cheap, which is right now 10%. But This could go up to, it's already been at 25% differential. We could see some interesting times moving forward, but I'm going to have no part of it, obviously, because of what's going on. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day.